Luka Doncic and the Mavs took the lead 3 minutes into Game 4 and never looked back. They beat the Suns 111-101. Luka finishing with 26 points, 11 dimes. This series is now tied at 2 apiece, heading back to Phoenix. All right, Skip, I got a little intel here. After the game, Lil Wayne tweeted a disparaging comment about Luka, and then you two started texting about it afterwards. So you got to fill me in. Tell me more.
Shannon Sharp. I immediately texted Wayne because I so agree with the essence of his point. And he amplified on his point, and I'm going to read it straight from his text, which he will not mind because this is exactly what's wrong, in my view, with trying to like Luka, who you love. Okay?
I do.
All right, this is from Wayne, straight from Wayne's text. Luka just gotta play basketball. He be killing me with all the crying, then all the celebrating fouls, which he does. More Wayne. He plays basketball like they play soccer with all the fakery and the crying. All that's pretty common in the basketball league he played in, meaning coming up in Europe, obviously, which is why him and Jokic, and then all caps, always do this. So agree. What if I told you we have seen Luka in back-to-back playoff series, first round against the Clippers the previous 2 years, right? One in the bubble, then one last year in which they went up 2-0 at Clippers, at Staples, and then went home and lost 2 straight games, and the Clippers roared back and won the series. What if I told you a dozen times on this show? He drives me crazy, and I can't believe they're letting him get away with the fact. Remember at Staples when he was making the early threes, he's giggling at him.
Right.
I'm making threes. Yeah. I'm making threes. You know, he's going up the court like that. Well, remember he and Marcus Morris got into it, and they respect him because he's earned their respect in the lane because he can score in the lane on anybody. I don't know how he does it. It's herky-jerky. It's like out of sync, out of rhythm, but he scores. He's got basketball genius in the lane.
Yes.
He also went 1 for 10 from 3 because he's a terrible three-point shooter, and he's not a very good free throw shooter, but that's not the point here. The point is all the other stuff that goes into it because he's constantly whining about every call. And they said they've tried to get him to sing songs in his head to get it out of his head and take it easy. He got an early tech yesterday because he just flat out ran into DeAndre Ayton, just like steamrolled right into him. And it's like, is there a call? And he hits the ground, and they just didn't call anything. And I'm okay with the non-call there, but he was not. So he gets a tech, but when they start front running, he's going to laugh. He's going to celebrate, especially on Chris Paul's fourth foul that came when Monty unfortunately put him back in the game with 45 seconds left in the second quarter. And that was pretty much the game ended on that fourth foul because that's you're defunct now pretty much for the rest of the game. But all of the above is why I can't believe people love him so much. He's becoming a superstar in stature, in popularity, obviously, around this country, but around the world, for that matter. And I think they love him as a ratings magnet. I just don't like to watch him play because he drives me crazy with all the same things. And obviously, just to be completely objective about this, Wayne and Chris Paul are very close.
Yes.
And I told Wayne, you might have to go save Chris. You might have to go, if it goes to Game 7 at Phoenix, you might have to be in the front row.
Right.
Because Chris lights up and plays great for Wayne. So the point is, Wayne is defending Chris in a way, but I completely agree with the essence of his point.
Skip, I tweeted, Luka's my guy, but he flops more than a fish out of water.
He does.
And it gets annoying. Skip, every time, like every shot that he makes, he's like, bro, y'all ain't gonna call no foul. So he's got his hands up, or he's glaring at the official, or he's complaining, and it is just exhausting. I'm like, bro, you can't get every call. Damn. I mean, they give you a call, and you're like, well, what about the call that, it's like, Skip, they give him a call, and then he turns around and talks about, well, what about the call that you missed earlier? Bro, damn, you don't get every call. They're not finna let you shoot 50 free throws a game. And it does. It gets annoying. I'm like, bro, just play. And the flopping and it gets on my nerve. I think he's a phenomenal player. Luka, like I said, Luka's my guy. But this flopping, but like Jason Kidd said, hell, we learned it from the best. Chris Paul has been flopping his whole career. He has, Skip. He be getting calls on Brunson. He grabbed Brunson's shorts. And somehow he failed, and they called it on Brunson.
Yeah.
So they're like, Jason Kidd's like, y'all see what he's doing? Let's see if we can get some of them calls.
No, I got it. But Chris Paul's never giggled after he made a three on you.
But no, what Chris be doing, he be giggling when he gets you to get them fouls, them cheap fouls where he be flopping. He like, yeah, see? Like he did to Pat Bev, how he got up under Pat Bev's skin, and Pat Bev ended up shoving him. He like,
he did, yep. All right.
But Skip, I agree. Look, this is too much. And Jokic is, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, Jokic got thrown out of a game last year against the Nuggets for complaining. They ended up throwing him out of the ball game or something. But he and Jokic, they do a lot of complaining. It's just like, bro, just play basketball. You're gonna get more calls than the average player because you're a superstar. Okay, but damn, you can't get every call, every shot. It's like Luka, if he misses a shot, Skip, man, you know I missed that shot because they fouled me, right? And I'm like, bro, it gets to be too much for me. Even when I love the guy, Skip, but it gets too much for me sometimes.
Okay, and yet you have told me that you grew up loving one Larry Joe Bird who played for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
And every time you tell me that, it gets more offensive to my psyche because I love Larry Bird too. I love Magic more than Bird, but my point is, Larry Bird just played basketball.
No, they didn't flop.
Huh?
You know who brought that flopping in? Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman flopped.
I was afraid you were going to say Manu, but he might have taken it to an art form.
Yeah, Manu took it to an art form.
Yeah.
But Dennis was flopping, they hit him with the little hip and, he go into the third row.
Yeah, that was almost part of the entertainment act.
It was.
Dennis Rodman.
Because you remember, Skip, he chased a loose ball and he dived 3 rows up into to try to save it. But that means, Skip, they done got guys have mastered it now. They took it from what Manu, and it's just like everybody is looking for a cheap offensive foul. Everybody's like, man, he pushed him in the back. Guys can't get the rebound, and all of a sudden they throw themselves forward, and man, nobody even touched the guy. It's getting annoying. I don't envy the officials because it's hard because you get a split second to make the decision, Skip, and I know we get an opportunity to see the replay. The officials don't get an opportunity to see a replay unless it's a challenge, unless they challenge the call. But this is getting ridiculous with me.
So Larry Bird was obviously as tough as they ever
Oh,
came.
yeah, absolutely.
He was an all-time great trash talker, but it was in your ear, not audible.
Right.
It was whispered in your ear. It was not noticeable for the audience. You couldn't see it, feel it.
No.
You couldn't sort of absorb it.
Right.
Because it was completely like Mark Aguirre used to tell me when he was a Maverick. He just destroys me with his trash talk, but he just whispers in my ear.
Right.
You can't guard me.
I didn't even know that until like he had retired.
Yeah.
And then people started saying, well, who Michael Jordan? No, said no, Larry Bird was.
Larry Bird.
Like, Larry Bird talked trash. How did you? Yeah.
And he talked all-time trash before that three-point shootout in Dallas at the All-Star game when I was there in 1986, when he went in the dressing room and he said, which one of you is going to finish second?
Yeah.
You said that to them and got away with it? Yeah, and he went out and won.
Got Dr. J. Dr. J, like, came at home, got to take that one with you. Wow.
Yep.
Take this with him. Dr. J said, enough of your mouth.
Yeah. And Larry
started
Bird won
railing
the
on it.
three-point shootout and raises his finger in there while the ball's halfway to the hole, right? And here we go.
But Skip, not Manu, Luka.
Yeah.
Skip, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous how he be like every play, he's complaining about a call.
My problem is that Larry Bird wasn't a good shooter. He was a great shooter.
Yeah.
And Luka is not a good shooter. I'm sorry, no matter what you say, again, another 1 for 10 yesterday from 3. But I've given you this. In the lane, he's genius.
He's streaky. But Skip, like he went 1 for 10.
Yeah.
Now you watch. There'll be another game, Skip, he'll go 7 to 10 for the 3. And you're like, what the hell?
Once in a while, but he's career 33%.
But Skip,
it's just not good
But
enough.
the threes that he's taking, Skip, you know you ain't supposed to be taking those step back 30.
Man. He launches, okay? And if they go in, it looks great.
Exactly.
Okay.
But when they don't, you're like, Luka.
Yeah.
Bro, everybody is like, everybody else making threes. Well, let me join the party too. Finney Smith can't miss. Bertans can't miss. Cleaver's making them. Brunson's making them. Everybody.
Listen, he was pretty fortunate yesterday. Because
they won,
No, that Finney Smith took him off the hook by going 8 of 12.
Yes.
Because if Finney Smith has his usual 2 for 8 or whatever, you're going to get in some trouble in that game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But Phoenix didn't shoot. Like I said, I think Mikal Bridges, is going to have to give them more. Chris Paul's in foul trouble. I'm not worried about CP3. Watch Game 5. He'll be the CP3 that we expect him to be.
Yep.
But Mikal Bridges got it. And I get it, Skip. It's taking a lot out of you to deal with Luka, but you got to give him more than 6. I'm not saying you got to give him 31 like you did one game, but you got to give him more than 6.
In the end, thank you, Wayne, for saying what I've been saying in a way I wouldn't say it, but I'm great with it because I get the essence of the point.
You just try to take shots at my. I don't know what it is about my guys. I got a couple of international guys. You know, Luka, Giannis, Jokic, and you be trying to come up with excuses.
You're Mr. International.
Yeah. I mean, I got the last 4 MVPs on my roster.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you picked it.
No, ain't no big.
Hey, Shannon, speaking of your guys, are LeBron's Lakers on the verge of finding their next coach? We got to break this down.